On the island of Crete in the southern Aegean, where limestone mountains fall steeply into the sea and olive groves cover the lower slopes, the ruins of palaces have stood for 35 centuries. The textbook will tell you these were the work of the first great civilization of Europe, a brilliant Bronze Age culture. The builders of Knossos, the painters of dolphins and bull lepers, the people who supposedly seeded Greek civilization itself. For more than 100 years, that was the story. Europe's first masterpiece. Then, ancient DNA was extracted from Minoan bones sealed in burial caves and hillside tombs. When the results came back, the foundation of the textbook story collapsed. The Minoans were never who Europe claimed them to be, and the bloodline that built Knossos did not vanish in the Bronze Age. It has been walking the same island the entire time, hiding in plain sight. To understand what the DNA overturned, you have to first understand what the DNA was overturning, and that means going back to a civilization that for the better part of 1,000 years was the most sophisticated thing happening anywhere in the Aegean. Crete sits in the southern reaches of that sea, 160 miles long, one of the largest islands in the Mediterranean. People had been farming there since at least 7,000 years before Christ. Then, around 3000 BC, something changed. The villages began to grow, the countryside filled with farms and shepherds' compounds. By 1900 BC, the town of Knossos held an estimated 17,000 people. By the height of the palace period, perhaps 40,000. They built great palaces, more than half a dozen of them, multi-story complexes with banquet halls, ceremonial courtyards, ashlar masonry borrowed from Egyptian royal architecture, drainage systems, raised walkways, fresco-covered walls. They painted dolphins and octopuses and women in flounced skirts. They leaped over bulls in scenes that have never been fully explained. They worshipped goddesses with snakes coiled along their arms. They wrote in 2 scripts that no one has ever read. They shipped their distinctive vases across the eastern Mediterranean, and Minoan pottery has been found at Byblos, at Beirut, at Ugarit. And then, in 1900 AD, an Englishman arrived. His name was Arthur Evans. He bought the hill at Knossos, began excavating, and within a few years was telling the world he had found the cradle of European civilization. He named the people after the mythical King Minos. He reconstructed the palace walls in painted concrete. He pieced the frescoes back together according to his own preferences. And he gave the world a story it was eager to hear. It was